Hello, it's Wednesday, and I took another small pork roast out of the freezer, and I'm going to wash that off, take it out of the package and wash that off, and then we'll see what we decide to do with it. And that seems like it's got a big piece of fat on the back, which it's okay to cook it with that, but I don't want quite that much, so I'm going to just trim that down, because that's a big piece of fat. A little bit of it is okay, but not that much. So I'm just going to trim that off. Not like that, because that's a lot of fat. Now that little bit of fat is good, will be good. Okay, I'm going to get me one of my croaks, just a big pan, and I'm going to chop this pork up, cut it in squares, and I'm going to saute it with onions. I'll be back. The reason I'm going to chop that up kind of small is because I don't have all day to cook it, to get it tender. And I didn't put it in the Instapot, which I usually do, but I wanted to just chop it up in pieces, because I'm going to make a little pork stew with this. Something kind of quick for Mother and I, but yet filling, and just enough to be able to get us full. Well, as you know, or maybe you've had happen to you, your recipe changes. That's why you have to kind of be inventive, because we're not going to do a stew with this. I've decided to brown that. Look at one of my other pans. Hold on. I'm going to. I got a pan that's got a little bit of grease in it. I'm going to heat this skillet up, and I'm going to brown this meat with some onions. And then there's a lot of things you could do with that. That's the way you have to change your mind if you're a cook. Okay, so I'm going to put this into my pan, just the meat and the oil that I had in there. I'll wait on the onion. I'm going to saute this. Okay, so now I'm going to take some onion, and I'm going to cut it and put it in with the pork. The reason I didn't do that to start with is because I wanted to save some of that pork for one of the sick kitties that needs fresh meat like this to help its little stomach. So I have to not put onions or garlic or nothing into that for that kitty cat. And if y'all don't do this, I'm sorry, I didn't. I believe in helping God's animals, especially the ones that we have. So now I put that onion in there, and I'm just going to saute that around with that. Okay, I pulled that pork off of the fire with the onions and letting it just sit there. And then I had bought a whole bunch of asparagus, tiny asparagus, the baby asparagus. And I'm just going to use the heads off of it because I got it so cheap. And I'm just going to cut the top part, and this other I'll use like a salad. can use it in a salad, but I just want this asparagus with the pork. Let me get one more. Might as well just use this. Let me get the rest of this kinda put out here so that we don't waste. Hold on just a minute. Let me get another bowl. When I put that asparagus there, that's the tiny asparagus that I like a lot because it's kind of what I would have at home garden, in the home garden that will be coming up. Now, got the asparagus kind of cut. Okay, now I'm going to add the asparagus to my pan. Let it just smother itself down with the onion and the pork. You kind of cut it with your spatula. Just let that kind of do its own thing. You can put a lid on it if you'd like, or whatever you want. That'll give us that good spinach. Good asparagus. You get some salt. Gotta have salt. Not a lot, but enough to make it interesting. A little pepper. A little garlic. Kind of a stir fry in a way, but not with all that sodium and stuff that you would have to use in the recipe. We're just going to let that cook down till it all gets tender. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to add a little water to that. Time to glaze the pan. And just let that simmer till everything is good and well cooked. Since I don't have a lid big enough for that, I'm just going to take one of my other pans, set it on top. I'll be back. Okay, so now to that I'm going to add some regular whole kernel corn, just because I need to use it. That'll give it some color, plus it mixes in well with asparagus and pork. So this video is just to show you you have to use what you got and be inventive, because today's prices, you can't always not use what you have. And this will be plenty for Mom and I, way more than what we need. but it's a good healthy option to using this asparagus, that pork, and we'll just let this cook down and then I'll be back. Okay, so to my rice cooker, I'm going to I don't want a whole bunch of rice, just some to add that on to the top of. So I'm just going to put about a cup of rice, maybe a little over, because with Mother and I's knot, it doesn't take much. Turn that on, and I'll add my water up to the top of the rice cooker. Add my lid. Now, I'll set that and get our rice cooked, and we'll be back. Okay, now the rice probably got done, and we'll check that and take our little, out of the rice cooker, our little pan. And let me get just a small, still smoking. Let's take a little bit of that rice out there. Now this is from Mom, and she don't like any kind of soy sauce, so let's just take some of our asparagus and pork and put it on there. Now that's very nutritional to you. And then you can add whatever you like, but that's just what we're going to have tonight is our pork asparagus with rice. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. And I wish y'all was here to have some with us. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.